Thinking of going into farming in this 2025 and you are confused which aspect of farming you intend to go into, this video is actually for you. In this video, we wanted to actually analyze some of the aspects of farming that you need to know. We will break it down, some of the pros and the cons if you wanted to go into farming. So welcome to my channel. Don't forget to like this video, turn on the notification bell, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. So let's go into the video. Now, when you want to go into farming is actually can be categorized into two groups. We have the animal side and the crop side. So now let's talk about the crop production side. If you intend to go into crop production, we can actually divide crop production into three aspects of crop production. We have the tree crops, which include palm, cocoa, cashew, coconut, and etc. Then we have the second one, which is the annual crop, which can be planted twice in a year or 3 times in a year, depending on the location or if you are doing irrigation. So we have the maize, we have the cocoyam, we have the cassava, we have the maize, we have the cocoyam, we have the cassava. Then the third aspect can be some of the crops that thrives within less than 2 months, which are the watermelon, cucumber, vegetables. So now if you are intending to go into crop production, you have to put into consideration some of these things I mentioned. That are you going into a tree crops which is going to take like 3, 4, 5 years to start fruiting, where if you invest your money, definitely it's going to take you 3 to 4 years, 5 years before you start reaping or making gain from that aspect. Are you patient enough? If you are a kind of patient person, then it is advisable for you to go into tree crops like cocoa. Of recent now, the cost of ton of a cocoa is close to 15 million naira, which is this is the first time in the history where cocoa will skyrocket to this amount of money, this amount per ton. Then if you are intending to go into like cassava production, you discover that cassava right now is also cost. If you look at it, if your 1 ton of cassava is around 150,000 naira or 140,000 naira, depending on where you are selling it. So now let's talk about maize production too. If you are intending to go into maize production, you can also see that maize is actually fluctuating right now. We have it at maybe like 500, 600, depending on the location where you are selling it. So now if you are going into any of this crop production, some of the things you need to put into consideration. First of all, land. If you are going into tree crops, if you want to go into tree crop, make sure that the land you are using is your own personal land, the one you purchase, because renting a land for tree crops might later not going to pay, because this is a crop that is going to take up to 3 to 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, or 40 years. Then you are still harvesting it. Like palm, it can take up to 50 years. So if you are renting the land, that means will you be able to maintain it for that long when you are supposed to be making your gain? No, issue might come up and might not be able to make enough gain. So if you are renting your land, it is more advisable you go into crops like annual crop, or the ones within short period like 3 to 4 months, like cocoyam, cassava, maize, or vegetables. So now if you purchase a land, so it is more advisable you can go into tree crops, which will take you like 10 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, and so on, because you will definitely going to reap the reward in the nearest future. So now let's talk about the second aspect. Right now, the cost of going into farming. Right now in this country, in Nigeria, you discover that the cost of farming now is already on the high side. Don't let us deceive ourselves. The cost of farming right now is on the high side. One, the cost of fertilizer, the cost farm inputs. Right now you discover that even to get workers to work on your farm is a little bit coming difficult now, because people don't really want to work much on the farm again. So now if you intend to go into crop production, you have to consider money. The cost of farming 3-4 years ago is not the same right now. This year right now, last year and this year, if you look at the input, when it comes to all these inputs, agrochemicals, it is also on the high side. So it is more advisable, or more advisable and safer to understand that money is very important also if you wanted to go into crop production. Some people believe that when you want to go to crop production, I mean commercial crop production, it is just less. No, it's not less, because if you look at it, crop production is what almost everybody does. But in the real sense, if you are going to commercial crop production, it is capital intense. So it is more advisable you have the money, you do your necessary planning when it comes to any kind of crop you intend to invest your money into. So now the third aspect is availability, to your own availability towards the place you are either renting or buying, or the where you want to site your crop. Now let's talk about the rate at which people are stealing crops. If you are not readily available there, you discover that theft is on the high side right now. And if you invest money in a particular place and you are not readily available, you cannot not easily access that place. You know definitely your thing is not safe. So that now brings us into the fourth aspect of something you need to consider, of things you need to consider if you want to start crop production, is the security of the place. Well, we all know that the security in this country right now, it is the way it is, but still you have to consider the security of yourself and the security of where you wanted to plant anything you intend to plant, because at the time when if you start harvesting, all people will not go there to go and steal it. So you need to consider that, and more so you need to consider the road to that place. Is it motorable? If it is motorable, good. But if it is not, what is the means at which you are going to use to transport your produce from the farm to the market? You have to consider that. So now let's talk about the second aspect, which is animal. If you check on this channel, you discover that we have been talking about pig and poultry in the last 10 or 15 videos that I have been uploading. Of course, if you wanted to start animal production in this 2025, you have to prepare your mind very well. Psychologically, you have to prepare your mind. You have to prepare your mind that I really wanted to start this. First of all, first thing you need to consider also is the land. Where the land that you will use in animal production can't not be compared to the land that you are going to use in crop production. You need a big, large area of land for crop production, but while in animal production, you can always manage a small area of land to start your animal production, depending on the kind of animal you wanted to go into. If you are intending to go into poultry, you have to consider feeding. Feeding is very, very important. Right now, even generally livestock, feeding is very, very on the high side too. We have feeding. If you want to feed your birds from day old to point of lay, or till you call them, or till you sell them. Now, feeding for pig also is also on the high side. But if you are looking at it, we have some animals that you don't need to really buy feed for them, like pig. Now, if you check our channel, it's called that we talk about if you want to start pig in this 2025. If you look at it, if you are starting pig, if you intend to start pig farming and you intend to start poultry farming, the two you just need to consider is that at a point you might not have money to buy feed for pig. You can sort out for feed for them, but while in poultry you can't do that. So that is some of the things you need to consider. So if you intend to go into animal production, please consider the land. Money is also important. Availability. You know, you can't invest in a particular place and you are not available there. You are not readily available there. Though there's some security measure where you can put some CCTV in your farm where you can be monitoring it, but still you still need someone that will be available on ground, that will be readily available to carry out your order. So now, if you have make your necessary decision, you have to consider your area of interest, which will make it the last on this, which will make me to end this video. Your area of interest. If you are interested in crop production, kindly go to crop production, because area of interest really matters when it comes to all these either crop or animal. If you know any area at which you know very well, your interest will be a source of drive towards anything you wanted to do. You will just come out and said, okay, if I'm losing interest, you know that you are the one that make that decision that this is the area I wanted to go. So in my next video, I will be breaking it down. If you wanted to actually go into palm, if you actually want to go into tree crops, I will be breaking it down subsequently in my next video. So this is going to be part 1 of if you want to start farming in 2025. So don't forget to like this video, turn on the notification bell, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So see you in my next video.